All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. Talent hits a target no one else can hit, genius hits a target no one else can see. I've never known any trouble that an hour's reading didn't assuage. To live alone is the fate of all great souls. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. Compassion is the basis of morality. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. Men are by nature merely indifferent to one another, but women are by nature enemies. Satisfaction consists in freedom from pain, which is the positive element of life. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. Money is human happiness in the abstract. He, then, who is no longer capable of enjoying human happiness in the concrete devotes himself utterly to money. Wealth is like seawater, the more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. After your death you will be what you were before your birth. Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to read them in, but as a rule the purchase of books is mistaken for the appropriation of their contents. With people of limited ability modesty is merely honesty. But with those who possess great talent it is hypocrisy. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain, and it is only with the highest degree of intelligence that suffering reaches its supreme point. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively, not by the false appearance things present in which mislead into error, not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived opinion, by prejudice. Willpower is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Friends and acquaintances are the surest passport to fortune. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. Every person takes the limits of their own field of vision for the limits of the world. Reading is equivalent to thinking with someone else's head instead of with one's own. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. Honor means that a man is not exceptional, fame, that he is. Fame is something which must be won, honor, only something which must not be lost. Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head. It is in the treatment of trifles that a person shows what they are. It is with trifles, and when he is off guard, that a man best reveals his character. Suffering by nature or chance never seems so painful as suffering inflicted on us by the arbitrary will of another. The alchemists in their search for gold discovered many other things of greater value. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. Music is the melody whose text is the world. The wise have always said the same things, and fools, who are the majority, have always done just the opposite. In action a great heart is the chief qualification. In work, a great head. It is a clear gain to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. There is no doubt that life is given us, not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be got over. Every nation ridicules other nations, and all are right. Obstinacy is the result of the will forcing itself into the place of the intellect. It is only at the first encounter that a face makes its full impression on us. Wicked thoughts and worthless efforts gradually set their mark on the face, especially the eyes. The greatest achievements of the human mind are generally received with distrust. Martyrdom is the only way a man can become famous without ability. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other. The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable. Because people have no thoughts to deal in, they deal cards, and try and win one another's money. Idiots. To free a person from error is to give, and not to take away. Newspapers are the second hand of history. This hand, however, is usually not only of inferior metal to the other hands, it also seldom works properly. If you want to know your true opinion of someone, watch the effect produced in you by the first sight of a letter from him. The word of man is the most durable of all material. Will minus intellect constitutes vulgarity. Every possession and every happiness is but lent by chance for an uncertain time, and may therefore be demanded back the next hour. If we were not also interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. The difficulty is to try and teach the multitude that something can be true and untrue at the same time. The man never feels the want of what it never occurs to him to ask for. The longer a man's fame is likely to last, the longer it will be in coming. The brain may be regarded as a kind of parasite of the organism, a pensioner, as it were, who dwells with the body. To find out your real opinion of someone, judge the impression you have when you first see a letter from them.